Okay, so in this video, I wanted to give you two exact examples of me doing exactly the same thing. One year, did the same thing the following year. Two different groups of people, two different groups of players. The first group, less talented than the second group. And probably they both had a similar work ethic. The first group had less numbers than the second group, but the first group achieved more than the second group. And you as the coach can do exactly the same things. You can run exactly the same meetings, do the same type of practices, attempt to get them to do the same things in games, and you can get two different outcomes. And one of the things that made me want to put this video together is that really kind of shocked me the first time it happened. It doesn't shock me anymore, but the first time it happened I was kind of like, that's interesting. Why did that happen? How is it possible that the first time I did this, the team were less talented than the teams they played, during the season had appalling results, and when they got to the tournament that mattered, they turned it on. They went through the tournament, won the tournament. The second group, more talented, better league results, when they got to the tournament, didn't elevate their play. Stayed at the same level they'd been throughout the season. So how is it that that happened? Well, it came down to, in my opinion, the first thing was the second group didn't share the same desire level, the same passion, the same drive as the first group. And the second group said they did, but when it came down to it, they didn't. It didn't matter enough to them to win that tournament. They finished in the same place they always finished. They've done the same thing for 4 years running. And, you know, as a coach, you've got to look at that and go, okay, is that the ceiling of their ability? Is that as far as that group of players is capable of going? Now, I've asked that question many, many times, and I go back and forth, I go back and forth, and I go back and forth. But the majority of the times I say, no, that isn't the ceiling. That isn't as far as they can go, because less talented teams have won tournaments. So it comes down to, are you collectively bought in to the vision or the goal? Are you collectively committed to doing everything in your power to get that team over the line, to get that team to produce the results that you want? And if the answer to that question is no, then you will always get what you've always got. You won't get any further. You won't get any better. You won't become a champion, because someone else will work harder than you. Someone else will put more into it than you. Someone else will have more talent than you in the first place. So as the coach, this is something that I really had to get to grips with. I had to learn how to understand what is going to motivate Group 2 to push themselves that bit further. And sometimes I get it right, and sometimes I don't. And in this particular instance, I didn't. I couldn't, even though they told me they wanted the same thing as I did, the reality is they didn't. Because when it came to it, when push came to shove, they would choose to go to work. They would choose a college visit. They would choose to do a school project. They would choose to go camping. They would choose to be away for the weekend. So, you know, there was always something that would come up that would distract them from what they needed to be doing. And then when they got to the tournament, it came as a little bit of a surprise to them that they couldn't perform. But they couldn't perform because they hadn't performed in the entire season. They hadn't done anything in the entire season that would suggest that they were capable of upping their game when it mattered. So I just wanted to record this video and share with you the two different outcomes from me doing exactly the same things. And you as the coach have to be able to figure out, what is the team goal, what are the team committed to, what do they want, and then how do I get it? What do I have to do to be able to get it? If you want to be a champion of the tournament at the end of the season, what is the benchmark that they have to reach throughout the season to be able to give them the chance of winning that? And if they're not hitting those benchmarks, you have to remind them that they won't get the outcome at the end because they're not committed in the beginning. Alright, hope you enjoyed this section. Pretty interesting section, very useful section for you to be able to set out the team goals for the season. You know, everything works a lot better when you set goals. If you look at you know what we talked about earlier in this section, athletic performance is directly improved when you have a goal or a target or an outcome in mind. Alright, talk to you again soon. Bye bye.